You should never use any holy book. You should never use any holy book to prove itself. That's circular reasoning. It's like saying Muhammad is the prophet of God because the Quran says so, and Quran is the word of God because Muhammad says so.
No, I'm not.
And Muhammad,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it poses certain challenges, and if those challenges aren't met, that can be used as proof.
Yeah, but I don't see.
Yeah, go on.
Again, as soon as it challenges us, it also admits that our rationality has a basis in validity to judge its veracity, i.e., the Quran's truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree. I agree with what Ray is saying here, that the Quran makes certain challenges, and if the challenges are not met, I mean, even if the Quran didn't make those challenges, even without those challenges, we can just analyze it to see is it internally consistent. Because the Quran makes certain claims that it's internally consistent, that it's externally consistent, meaning that whatever it says actually happened, that it's every single statement in the Quran is true and actually happened. And basically this, it's a miracle and all that. So it's from God. And if there's even one statement that is incorrect, just one, that means the whole book has to be thrown out, right? And then the Quran also says it's preserved, Allah is preserving it. So if it's not preserved, we throw it out as well. So of course, there's a 1,000 reasons why we don't believe in Islam. This is just showing the absurdity of the stories in the Quran is just one. And again, it's not the primary method.
Yeah, you see, I wasn't trying to prove anything. I was just saying that you can use the Quran itself, and you can use all the other source material to verify it. So
we have specific responses to the stories in the Quran have been copied from sources available to Muhammad. For example, the Yajuj and Majuj thing never happened. The preservation never. It wasn't. The Quran is not preserved. This whole holes in the Quran narrative thing is real. The whole challenge of make another surah like it. There's tons of surahs written like it.
I disagree with the make a surah like it thing. I don't think that one's been addressed.
Okay, so I'll explain to you. I'll ask you a question just to be very quick.
Yeah.
Does the Quran stipulate what exactly are the objective points that challenger needs to meet like pass the challenge? Does the Quran stipulate any of those?
Well, I mean, in this case, I mean, I obviously can't explain it well. I mean, I'm not. What's it called?
Okay, here I'll ask you another question. Languages, the way they evolve, like you're speaking English, right? English has words from French and other languages over the course of years. And in essence, you can say the languages are actually constantly evolving, right? So when the Arabic of the Quran was revealed, the Quranic Arabic was contingent upon these same very principles of borrowing and whatnot from many other languages, Aramaic, Syriac, whatnot. Muhammad did it too. In fact, Muhammad would arbitrarily carry words over to the Quran and then give them a new meaning and even just put words there to maintain rhyme. Now, if Muhammad is allowed such privileges under the subjectivity of language, can the challenger not use that? What is stopping me from writing a phrase that's half in Arabic, half in Urdu, and one word in English? Because the Quran doesn't stipulate any objectivity on the challenge.
There's no conditions. When people write surahs like it, sometimes Muslims will say, "Oh, it borrows too much from the style of the Quran," or they'll say it's not enough like the Quran. It's a subjective challenge. It's a troll.
And the Quran borrows from pre-Islamic poets. So
the challenge is trolling.
That's not true. The fact that it borrows from Islamic poets.
You cannot win this challenge because it's not an objective challenge. It's not about how much weight can you lift. It's not about can you draw a certain thing with this much depth. It's just make a book like it. And is anybody's book like anybody's? Can you write a book like it? I don't even know if anyone can write a book exactly like I can. It's just
in essence, it's a challenge of beauty.
Okay, then why couldn't the Arab poets who were there at the time?
They did though. That's the thing.
Language. Why couldn't they do it?
They did though. That's the thing. And also, like, if it's just a pretty book in a pretty language, in essence, the Quran has some parts that are beautiful. I'll admit the Amma Para. But then, if you look at the content of some of them, it's just kind of absurd. It's a pretty book with good poetry, but a lot of stories.
So you're saying, how do you know that they didn't? How do you know that they didn't?
Like, just show me. Obviously, you can. Well,
this is the problem. The problem is that the majority of this information that we're getting has been preserved by Muslims. Even Mufti Abu Layth has admitted this. He said that the problem with this challenge is that the victors, meaning the Muslims, are the ones who decided what hadith was preserved. And of course, what did they choose to preserve? The most silliest, poetry of Musaylima, like it's an elephant and it has a ropey tail, and it's like the silliest things they come up with. There was another man by the name of, I think his name was Abdullah ibn Abi Salt. And he has a bunch of poetry that was actually like Quranic / biblical prophecies, Day of Judgments. But the problem is we don't know for sure. A lot of it is fabricated, and we don't know, and scholars don't know like what was actually written by him and what was written by people after the fact, and is being sort of like, I forget the technical word, but they're basically attributing it to him. So unfortunately, based on the way history, just like, when you look at science, when someone asks, why is there not a lot of fossils? You need the exact conditions for a fossil to be saved. It has to be preserved right away. It has to be covered with a certain type of soil or whatever. The majority of fossils, we'll never find them because they get destroyed by nature, right? The same thing when it comes to the history of Islamic history. We just don't have the information, because Muhammad killed the poets that were against him. Why would he kill poets? Why would he kill slave girls writing poetry if he was not threatened by it? Why does the Quran keep insisting it's not poetry, and he is not a poet? Muhammad had a big problem with poets. He sent out people to murder, Ka'b ibn Ashraf, who was writing poetry against him. Slave girls, I think Farhana, and I don't have the full list, but if you look at Islam, there's a big list of people he killed.
We don't have any of the poetry from that time. Is that what you're saying?
We do have some poetry. I can find. I even recited a few surah. This surah Sharik. Remember that one?
Yeah.
واللوح الدافق والليل الغاسق والصباح الشارق والنجم إن الشجر إن الشجر الوادي لا يأدو ختلا ويحرق ونياب أصلا. Something like that. Like I can recite. That's what I'm saying. This is pre-Islamic. It's allegedly pre-Islamic, and it has the word Najm al-Tariq, which is literally, and Layl al-Ghasiq, Ghasaq al-Layl. It's got so many borrowings from the Quran.
Yeah. So this is
Hafiz.
yeah, Hafiz, man. Oh my God.